Today I want to take you through the step-by-step of making a sublimation tumbler. And today I'm going to show you how I do it using a mug press. If you're new here, my name is Allison and I teach all things tumblers and crafts. And I want to show you how to make a sublimation tumbler. I do recommend using a mug press over a convection oven, but whatever you have will be fine. I'm gonna link a video in the top right corner so you can see my comparison and why I choose to use a mug press. It cuts down the time by so much. You can create your design, print your design, and have a cup done in a matter of minutes. Sublimation tumblers are a super fun alternative for those of us who make glitter tumblers. It allows us to do some different customizations, provide a different product, and maybe even a lower price point product for those of us who have a tumbler business. Before we get into the actual process, we need to talk about the supplies. The first thing you need are sublimation tumblers. These are specifically made for sublimation, and you need to make sure that you buy these. They're white. You can get glitter, glow in the dark. There's certain kinds, but you want to make sure that it's specifically made for sublimation. And with your tumblers, it is the easiest if you get a skinny straight. A skinny straight means that it is straight all the way down. The diameter on the top is the same as the diameter and the circumference on the bottom. So it is a lot easier to print your image and wrap it around your tumbler. You need a sublimation printer, sublimation paper with sublimation ink, all set up and ready to go. So if you want to learn more about converting your Epson printer and getting all of your computer settings all right, make sure you watch the video in the top right hand corner where I go through all of those details. The last two things that you're going to need are heat tape, and you're going to need your mug press. My mug press is the Trans Pro Plus mug press from Pro World, and I absolutely love it. I've actually tried a couple of different brands, a couple of different kinds, and this one is definitely my favorite. I do have a full review of this mug press, and I will link that down below. When it comes to sublimation designs on your tumblers, you can do a full wrap like this one, which is what I'm going to show you today. You can put just like an image or a logo, something small. You can do whatever that you want. You can create your own designs using something like Adobe Illustrator. You could even use Canva or Silhouette Studio. Or you can purchase digital files that other amazing creators have made. Today I'm going to show you how I purchased and download a file and size it correctly for my tumbler. If you are interested in how to create your own sublimation designs, make sure you leave me a comment underneath this video and I will make a video for you. Just comment below, sublimation designs please, and I will make sure that we get a tutorial up on the channel. The first thing you need to do is measure your tumbler. First, just take any tape measure that you have and measure from top to bottom. They're generally about 8 inches tall, and I like to then measure all the way around, and it's about 9.35, 9.375, but every tumbler is going to be a little bit different depending on where you get them. So measure and get those numbers. In Illustrator, I'm going to make a new canvas. You can do this in whatever program that you use, whether you're just resizing a photo in Microsoft Word, Silhouette Studio, whatever you're going to use. I'm going to go with 9.25 by 7.85 inches. I measure my tumbler, and this is what I like to do. You may need to play around with your sizes based on the tumblers that you're using and how it all works out. So I downloaded the PNG and I'm just going to drag it into Illustrator. You can open it in a different program, but I am then just going to resize it to my canvas size, which I know is going to fit my tumbler exactly, and I'm going to print this out. So put your cup face down on your table and then wrap your paper around your tumbler. I like to have it flat on the table so I know that I'm putting it on straight. And then I'm just taking a few pieces of tape as I pull the paper as tight as I can. You want it to be as snug as possible to ensure that your design takes and the colors are nice and vibrant. So I am just using some heat resistant tape here because it's going to go into my mug press. The seam is the most challenging and most important part of the tumbler. You don't want it to be super noticeable, so I take my fingernail and just run down where the paper overlaps. I like to have my design overlap just by a very, very little bit. I find that I get the best results that way. And then I'm going to take two pieces of a little bit thicker tape and put it down the seam. Again, I want to make sure I'm creating pressure here and getting it fully snug to my tumbler so I can't see the seam after I press it. So putting your tape around the top rim and then pull it tight before you lay it down. So you're actually pulling the tape really snug, and then use your finger and go over with your fingernail one more time over that seam. I use my nail. You can use something, else that's, pointy but not too sharp instead if you need to. Then I put a piece of tape around the top rim because the top rim and the bottom rim, it's easy to get some ghosting there. So just one time around is plenty. And you want to make sure that you're actually physically pulling your tape so it is nice and tight around your tumbler. So your paper is fully stuck to that tumbler. So once you get your tape on there, that's all the taping I do. I go right over to my mug press. This process is so easy, and I get very consistent results. So I put my tumbler in. You want it to be snug, but it doesn't go all the way around for that full wrap. Like you can see the tumbler on the top. So at 360 degrees, I'm gonna put it in for 15 seconds. And after that 15 seconds is up, I'm gonna rotate it about a quarter of the way and repeat that process. So every 15 seconds, I'm gonna rotate the cup 1/4, and I'm gonna do that 4 times. So 15 seconds for 4 times is 60 seconds. So 1 minute total to press a tumbler. And then I'm going to remove the tape. Your cup is very hot when it comes out of that mug press, so be careful. I'm just using my fingernail to lift up the tape so I don't actually burn my hand. You can see I have a heat glove on the other one. That is also from Pro World, and it is really good quality. So once you remove your tape, you can peel away your sublimation paper, and you should see nice, vibrant, perfect colors underneath that paper. This one turned out absolutely perfect, and it is such an easy process, literally 1 minute in the mug press, and you can see that the seam looks really good. All of that whole process of taping and putting it down with your fingernail helps to make sure you have a perfect seam. Now, I know that is a challenging part, and it may take you some tries to get that perfect seam. I want to show you this cup here that I did recently that doesn't have a perfect seam. So it happens sometimes. Just make sure you practice and figure out what's going to work best for you. But you can see there that the seam wasn't perfect, but it still turned out really cute. Sublimation tumblers are so fun and so easy to create and so amazingly customizable for friends, family, or for your customers. If you want to see 5 easy sublimation ideas outside of tumblers, make sure you click the video on your screen. I go through 5 really fun projects that you can make right now.